Good to go. Welcome back, finally.
Oh, mate.
Where you been, man? Where you been?
Yep, the seat's still warm.
I know. We had a little hiatus.
Yeah.
Just as we spoke before, just getting my shit together, really. But as you know, you've been a busy man, so.
Honestly, I have. I've been, been very
man
busy.
About town.
Been very, very busy.
Internet mogul.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd just say that.
Close.
Yeah, it's been good for my wife because she hasn't seen me, so that's been a positive for her. But a negative because the kids have been missing me. But yeah, mate. Obviously, you and I talk on a regular basis, but I just haven't been able to come in, mate. It's just been It's been pretty hectic, like yourself. So, but very exciting.
Very exciting. Firstly, before we get into that,
Yes.
your nephew's doing all right, isn't he?
Kid can play.
I know.
Kid can play.
You told me. I remember you saying last year, like he's got next best thing, and I thought, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, and then sure enough, he goes all right, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, when I say that, because I'm his uncle.
Yeah, well, that's why I can only take it.
Yeah,
if
I mean, people
you're
go,
meant to say that.
Chris is saying that because it's his nephew. He's probably got one leg and half an arm. and it's still spruiking. But I mean, the proof's in the pudding. He goes out there and touch wood. He stays fit because if he gets a run under his belt playing first grade, if he starts, if he can now. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Luke Keary's out. I would have loved to see him force his way into the team naturally, but it's occurred a lot quicker than it hasn't occurred quicker than what I thought. I thought he would have played first grade last year, but with the COVID, all that stuff, he got homesick.
Yep.
Long story, lost a lot of weight. Wasn't enjoying.
I
mean, he was 17, finished school.
Yeah.
The system that he's in, the Roosters, is one of the best. Melbourne's another one. Broncos were good. I know that Kevy's trying to get that back to some sort of normality, but he's gone into a good system. They took him over to the World Club Challenge, showed him the ropes, what it is to be a first grader, give him a bit of a taste, and then obviously COVID hit. I know that Sam, he's very close to his family with all of us. So
they would have been tough too because you couldn't really leave the house. And if you had a family, like it would have been okay. You let you come home and see your family every day. But if you're a young single man,
well, his girlfriend, his current girlfriend, she was living up here. Family was up here.
Yeah.
He's 17 years of age. He's going to training. He's been told once you finish training, you go straight home.
Yeah.
Don't worry about pass and go. Don't worry about collecting your $200. You go straight home. Right. So the only thing they could do is, which is weird. I think they had some sort of thing where they could go get some groceries or whatnot, and he was just going back home to an empty unit at Coogee. As a 17-year-old kid coming out of school, you want to have that experience of finishing training and going to have coffee and have some food with your teammates.
Social life,
have your social life because having a social life is a massive part of playing first grade. And I got homesick, lost a lot of weight. Wasn't feeling the greatest. Ben and Kylie, made the decision that Kylie would go down there and stay with him and, make sure that he was okay, making sure that he was fine. So she ended up living with him for the last 6 weeks or 7 weeks when he was down there. But, I know that Trent Robinson was keen, to use him last year and, give him blood him into it.
Yeah, because do you think if Luke Keary hadn't got injured, but the other half got injured, I forget their other half, do you think they would have put them together? Or
Lamb.
Yeah, that's it. Or were they both a little bit too small?
No. I mean, it doesn't matter the size of your...
always prove that.
It's what's in your heart. And, I mean, game management for both of them. I actually really can't wait to, if Lockie Lamb comes back and, and obviously Keary comes back next year, there's a little bit of competition for that 7 and 6 spot. So it's healthy competition, and if, Sam can, hold the team together until the end of the year, I think that there's a really good chance that next year that it's up for grabs.
Doing well,
and it's good too. Like, mate, that competition in the halves, especially for a first grade team like the Roosters, is so healthy. Like, Nick Politis runs a very good show there. Obviously, Trent Robinson, the coaching staff, losing Fitzy's a big loss for him. But just the way that they handle their players, it's.
Seems like they're suit because Melbourne Storm's almost like the benchmark for professionalism, the way they talk about it, and then you go to Roosters, seem like they're almost catching up and on a pretty even par.
Yeah, I'd say that there's probably your top 4. You go through the ladder right now. They're top 6 clubs.
Yeah.
There's a couple of clubs in there that shouldn't be in the top 6, but there's always your consistent, clubs in the top 4 to 6, and that's every year because they run it like a business.
I noticed. I heard a thing on the radio the other day as well about how they were saying that like for the Roosters, it used to be Brisbane Roosters, Melbourne Storm. People were signed there for less, but people were signed for more. So it's almost like an unfair salary cap almost.
Yeah, it is.
Because they've made themselves so much better. The people want to be there because success breeds success. And you decide, I'm going to be there, so I'll go for unders. Might take $100,000 clip on it. Whereas if you're going to go like Tigers or Cowboys, something, you're like, I want $100,000 more to go down there.
Yeah, that's right. And, but those clubs have also got that. They can then mimic what those clubs do for their players. Yeah. Make it enjoyable for the players, because I think I might have even told you this story when we had a meet with Russell Crowe.
That's right.
Me and my 2 brothers had a meet with Russell, and I was playing with the Roosters at the time. Him and Peter Holmes of Court were thinking about taking over South Sydney, and invited me to his place with Ben and Shane, and we sat down for about 3 hours at Rusty's place, talking to him about football. And I was signed with I was still signed with the Roosters. So, and he was asking, back then South wasn't a very attractive club to go to. They were paying overs for all their players because the culture wasn't great, and they just got back into the competition. And Russell said, "What my 3 brothers and I had just finished playing at the Brisbane Broncos in that era when Wayne Bennett was the coach, and it was run by." It was run by businessmen.
The Thoroughbreds.
It was run by the Thoroughbreds. And, great guys in rugby league. And he sat down and he said, "Mate, what makes the Brisbane Broncos? What makes the Sydney Roosters?" Because at the time I was playing for the Roosters. What makes it attractive? And the first thing that we said was what the club does for you as a player outside of turning up, getting the shit bashed out of you at training, and then giving you Gatorade and sending you on your way home. There's a whole process before that, and there's a whole process after that. Yeah. Training within the team and having the right equipment, having the right centre of excellence, having a centre there that has all the gear and it's not breaking. And he took over the South Sydney, and now they're a powerhouse again. And for what Russell does for rugby league, it's priceless. Yeah. It is absolutely priceless. I love the bloke.
Yeah. He's got a pretty good name. He used to get bagged a little bit, just because he was an actor and that's tall poppy syndrome, so everyone thinks he's coming, but now they sort of realise he's turned that club around. That's my club. That's and he's my team.
And he has. Yeah. And he makes it attractive for players. Yeah. And that was one thing that at the Broncos we'd go overseas to Fiji for 2 weeks and have training camps. Where they go to Erskineville, and there's nothing wrong with Erskineville, but they go to Erskineville and train for 2 weeks. The Broncos would make sure that all the partners, the wives, the girlfriends, the boyfriends, whatever was your cup of tea, were looked after and made feel welcome that they're at the club. And that's one thing that Russell now, from what I've heard, is what we told him we digested a lot of stuff with him in that 3 to 4 hours at his place in the meeting with Peter and him, and told him, or explained to him why the Broncos and the Roosters are such attractive clubs to players in the that come off contract at somewhere else. They want to go there, and they will take that $50,000 less. Yeah, some might get it in a plastic bag in a brown.
Doesn't matter how it gets there.
It doesn't matter how they get.
I'm surprised you've had time to watch footy lately.
Yeah, I know, mate, but I do. I find time. I have
seen all the business meetings and
the shareholders meetings, mate. It's it's something that I'm very proud of. What we're about to talk about, Jono. I think it's going to change a lot of people's lives.
So how long in the making for something like this?
Mate, it's been over.
This industry intrigues me a little bit because it's like I don't know really much about it. Like we had a talk with Dan in here, but
it's been over a year that me and the guys have worked on it, and it's been every day, and it's been long hours. It beats the 8 or 10 hours that you do every day, and plus because it's our baby, we want to work on it over the weekends, and there hasn't been a hell of a lot of time for family, and I think that it's ironic because being away from the family starting something like this is going to help 1 million families over, hopefully over, not over Australia, but over the worldwide when we start launching and we get it out there, mate. So we're starting a little platform. So
it's Fund My Challenge.
Yep.
There we go. Fund My Challenge, and then so how does it work? So is it going to be an app?
Yeah, mate. Well, we're developing an app, but what it basically is, we connect donors to charities, foundations, and people in need.
Donors. When you say donors, you mean
money donors.
Money donors,
not organ donors. We're not going to Thailand to sell kidneys or anything like that. I don't know if you should be telling people this. Yeah. No, but we connect money donors, or people who want to change the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a perfect example of what we're not. We saw Celeste Barber January last year, raised $53 million. I know everyone knows about the Celeste Barber thing because it gained worldwide attention.
Yep.
And it was, for her to do that, mate, that's amazing. It's amazing. Like, we were hoping her experience wouldn't happen again.
Yeah.
And that's wholly and solely why we started Fund My Challenge.
So for those who didn't know, it's a lot of that money just went.
No, well, see, the thing is, it went to the New South Wales Royal Fire Brigade.
Yeah.
Now, we all saw the vision.
Yeah.
Because we lived it for weeks. Weeks and weeks. We saw houses being burnt down. We saw families living in camper trailers. We saw families living in centres, in industry, in communities. We saw, football fields, showgrounds. We've seen all these things happen to people who lost their houses. We've seen houses burned down. We've seen koalas getting killed and wildlife decimated because by the billions. And it was sad, and it really is sad, and it's awful. And Celeste Barber was sitting at home, like 99.9% of us were sitting at home thinking, how the hell can we help these communities rebuild?
Yep.
So she started a campaign. I think her target was $100,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And her sitting there thinking, you know what, I'm gonna nominate the Royal Fire Brigade. She's probably seen it on the TV. I'd love to. I want to hear the story about it. And I think that we hopefully one day, with the talks that we're having, we could probably get her in here to.
Yeah, that's least. I'll send her this clip. Yeah, come on, explain yourself. Yeah, yeah.
And this is the thing, like everyone chucking in their money, their $100 or their $1,000 or $10 or their $2, whatever you can afford. And it went to the New South Wales Fire Brigade. Now, under their constitution, they can only spend donation money on training, new equipment, new trucks.
Oh, really?
There's nothing saying in there that I'm going to build a house for a community for a person who's lost it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Where the initial fundraising or donations were going, what Celeste thought was going to.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of the story.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm wrong, please contact
it's somewhere along the lines that it couldn't be spent. It had to be spent on something that wasn't necessarily a priority at that stage.
From what I've also heard is the New South Wales Fire Brigade, they want to spend it on the communities that lost their houses and.
Well, they're not in the wrong.
They're not in the wrong, but in their constitution.
Yeah, I see.
As Marble would say, in that what's that movie that the Constitution. What's it?
I don't know.
That Australian movie, that old Australian movie that talk about the Constitution. What is it? Anyway.
Titanic.
No, an Australian movie.
Oh, Australia.
It's.
Romper Stomper.
No, where they live in the backyard.
Castle.
The castle.
There we go. We've got it. I beat you to it.
The castle. They talk about the Constitution and all that sort of stuff. But all seriousness, they couldn't spend it on what she thought, and she doesn't know where a dime of that money's gone up until a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
So.
And you like it. I mean, obviously, again, it's going to a reputable place, but she just doesn't know what. She just doesn't know what they're utilising it for.
Yeah. So on our platform, like, we encourage people to donate, and we have charity. We vet charities. So we want charities on there that spend money on what their cause is or what they want, and we don't want charities on there that gain the money and then spend it on future events. That's not in That's not in our DNA.
So you can effectively, comfortably, because like a big thing for me, if I got an opportunity to give money to charity on a big volume, like say I got donated, hey John, I donate, you can pick a charity. I genuinely don't know
where it goes and where they spend it and how much of it.
And
goes
I know
to
some good causes, but I don't know. I only know them because I know them. I don't know them personally. I don't know that if I give my say $10,000 to this cause, I don't know what they're going to spend that on.
No.
I don't know whether it's going for fuel vouchers for the staff. I don't know that.
Or go to the salary of the CEO.
Yeah, I don't know any of that. Yeah, so that is a big problem.
There's some really really good charities, like really good charities.
Yeah.
But then there's also not some good charities.
Yeah.
Not so good charities. And
because there's like lots of stories about like the was it UNICEF? The UNICEF conference and everything where all the CEOs pull up in their Range Rovers, all company supplied Range Rovers for this UNICEF annual general meeting, and it's like
and they're flying into their private
jets there, and you think
it's like some of those churches over in America where the pastors all fly around their private jets and go to their $100 million houses.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what we want to do. And,
start a church.
We rely on the gratuities of the donors to build our platform. So that's one thing that we're very proud of.
Yep.
So it's a far cry from playing footy and all that sort of stuff in my past, and it's something that I go to bed now and I put my head on the pillow, and even on my social media, like I'm putting things out there and people are knowing what Fund My Challenge is and slowly learning about Fund My Challenge. And the amount of direct messages and the little things here, there, and everywhere that people want to get involved and people want to help. From what we've come through in the last 12 months with the doom and gloom of the world, this has given me a new lease of life. Like it is like.
Well, I like that. I've never actually given because I've never had the opportunity to donate a great deal of money to a I've never actually given it thought
of where it
goes. It's blown my mind actually a little bit, like, or how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So you're almost a conduit to say, like, so if I'm a wealthy person of $500,000, I think, you know what, I'm giving it to charity.
Yep.
You'd go to Fund My Challenge, would you, and say, this is what I can afford to give.
Yeah, and then what happens is because we do the process from go to woe.
Yep.
Just say, for my there's a couple of little things that that are really special with this. We've got a Global Awakening Fund, so the money actually goes there. We've got trustees and our contract with. We might go to a big charity organisation that spends. If you've got to be on our platform and you've got to spend at least 60% or more on your cause.
Yeah, okay.
And you can't hold.
Is that quite a generic?
Well, put it this way: we've vetted 400 charities, and out of 400 charities, if they spend 60% or less, they're not allowed on our platform.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be hard for them to be on our platform unless they come up with some genius excuse. They're allowed on our platform, but with the 60%, we've got 7.8% of those 400 charities actually gone through our first stage of vetting. So currently we have 29.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
So this
I would assume.
This podcast might open up some can of worms on some people, but I will never. This is the thing: we will never talk about the charities that never made our platform, because what we want to do is when we donate, someone comes to us and they go, I want to donate to X charity, and that charity is sitting at 60% or 65%. So they just reach the threshold of our vetting system.
Acceptance, yeah.
So what we want to do with those 60%, and I'd love to do it with a couple of charities that are at 50%, because the money that we donate to them through charities, through challenges. Now, when I say a challenge, because it's called Fund My Challenge. Now, challenge is a metaphor. It doesn't. You don't need to run 42 marathons in 42 days as your challenge. You don't need to do 25 push-ups in 25 days as your challenge. A challenge could be, I met a family today who is going through absolute hell because their 10-year-old kid needs chemo and they can't afford it because that's a challenge. Yeah, and then I might pull that out and go, you know what? I'm going to raise awareness and I'm going to raise money for that family.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm going to help them out.
Yeah.
And I might say, that's their challenge. That's mine now. That's now my challenge. I want to get on board and I want to support that family.
So you can nominate
nominate. Yeah. And it might be, I might say, over the next month, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes every night.
Yep.
And I'm going to do it for that kid because he needs chemo, and we need that wellness. And I'm going to create awareness for that family. Come on my challenge with me, and meditate for 20 minutes. Donate to my challenge, and then those proceeds go to him, and then I then have a year to give it to those guys. No, I'm not that I'm going to take a year to do it, but if it goes over a year and that family then go, no, I don't want your donation, well, then I have the privilege of donating it to another family under that.
So you almost collect the funds through the thing and then hold it.
And we hold it in a trustee. Well, the trustees hold it.
Yeah.
And then you have 12 months as the person of that challenge to then donate it to a cause.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so I'm doing a walk. I leave on the 26th of April.
Yep.
On Monday, the 26th of April, I'm walking from Cairns to Gold Coast. So there's going to be 4 beneficiaries for my walk.
Yeah.
The Global Awakening Fund, Beyond Blue.
Yep.
Rise Up, Domestic Violence.
Yep. And
Alcohol and Drug Foundation. Now, those 3, especially over the last 12 months through the pandemic, have seen a rise. They've seen a rise in all of those: suicide, depression, domestic violence, alcohol and drug abuse. It's all risen. It's gone up. So I've gone, you know what, I'm going to do a challenge.
Yeah.
So those 4 beneficiaries will then, just say I'm going to pluck out a figure. Just say I raise $100,000 for those 4 charities.
Yeah.
Right. So Beyond Blue, Rise Up, Rise Up, and Alcohol and Drug Foundation, they all get $100,000. Now with the Global Awakening, it's a really unique charity.
Yeah.
So $100,000 goes into that charity. Because I'm the ambassador for that walk, I then have the power or the beauty of then finding other charities or foundations or people in need to then disperse or break up that $100,000 and donate it to. I could donate it to 10 other charities and give them $10,000 each.
Yeah.
So there's 4 beneficiaries.
Yep.
Of the walk, plus the Global Awakening, or 3 beneficiaries plus the Global Awakening, which is a beneficiary. So then I've been in contact with Big Car Webb. Big Charlie.
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
He was a bit crook, wasn't he?
He's got motor neurons disease.
That's right, yes.
So he started his own foundation called the Car Webb Foundation for MND.
Yeah. He's a beast, Car Webb.
Mate, and listen, I get sort of emotional about it because I've been mates with Webby since I was 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I played all my junior football with him, and like when you think of Webby, like when I think of Webby, I think of this big brute, guy that destroys blokes on the footy field, and now like I see him come into the office, and I went to the launch of the Carl Webb Foundation, and to see the big fella now, he's going through his struggle, and it
makes you feel a bit human, when you see things like that. This could just easy.
Webby, like every time I think of Webby, the first thing that comes to my mind is him tearing up New South Wales, throwing off Jason Croker and scoring in the corner, and being an absolute beast. So I mean that's the beauty of the Global Awakening, is that I have the beauty of going, Webby, listen, we and you've got to be a DGR registered charity to be on our platform. When we started, the walk and the process and the gigantic logistical nightmare that it is, he wasn't his charity hadn't been registered.
Wasn't around, because only new, isn't it? Really,
it's only new, and we've been working on this for months and months and months. So that's the beauty of the Global Awakening, and there's these. So that's the beauty of it. Like I have the beauty of and
it's pride, isn't it? And then that you can be proud that you did something that, and then you get to select. And
I get to select where that can go. Then, like like on my walk, if I might meet a family on my walk that need a wheelchair for their kid who's got cerebral palsy or something like that, and then I have the beauty then of going, there you go, guys, I can buy that for you. And that's the beauty of this Global Awakening, which is a part of our Fund My Challenge, and I get really proud about that.
You can see it. You can see it because you get like a smile, like you light up a little bit. You're like, I feel like I'm doing something.
And it is like, yes, I'm walking from Cairns to Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm giving opportunity to help three charities plus this one. I'm walking 66 days, walking 30 Ks a day, meeting people along the way that I would never have met that might have hardship in their life, or I might meet a grassroots charity that needs $10,000 to help with what they're doing because that's their cause. I can then meet them and go, you know what? When I finish the walk and I've got funds in the Global Awakening, I can then come back to them and go, there you go, there's your 5,000.
So because you think about, like, if I say I might decide I want to do something. You're right in the sense that there is. What do I do? Do I open a bank account and just make sure people pay me into their bank account? Yep. And do people trust? There's no trust. Like if I'm donating something, I'm like, when someone sends me a bank account details, I'm most likely going to think, well.
Yeah, where's it really going?
Yeah, and it's a shame to think like that. And I'm not saying lots of charities are non-scrupulous and they don't do it, but if it's just a one-off person, you think, is this going into your beer fund, or am I like, are you actually going to pass this money on?
That's right, and that's what we're taking that. We're giving our donors the confidence to know that when the money that they donate is going to where it should. Yeah, exactly. And it's not like it's going to one of these monstrosity charities that out of their $100, they keep $80 and put $20 to the cause. Mm. And they know that when they look onto our platform and the charities that are on our platform, or past the vetting, and we're still in the process of getting charities onto the platform that we want to partner with, that they know that at least 60% is going to the actual cause. Yeah.
And and of course, like you're saying, that's not to say that the other charities who aren't on there aren't good charities. It's just that they either haven't applied or they haven't met the standard, or they, for whatever reason, it's just not even something they're into.
And this is, for instance, like when we first started the whole process, and our team come to us and said, righto, listen, how many charities do you reckon are registered, DGR registered in Australia? And I thought, me at the start of this whole process thought, there's probably about 5,000. Yeah. Well, there's 58,000.
Is it really?
58 registered DGR registered charities in Australia.
What does DGR mean? Does that mean that you're like you've gone through the process of registering it, named, it's all certified? It's all certified, it's ready to go, and it's all authentic. So that's, it's been recognised by who it needs to be recognised by. Yeah. So that's to be DGR registered is there's probably other charities out there that aren't DGR registered, but we like I said, I don't that sort of charity registration is out of my out of my pay grade. Yeah, yeah. I don't look after that. All I'm looking after is getting my walk done. You're Forrest Gump.
I'm Forrest Gump.
Chris Gump.
I'm Chris Gump. That could be the next one. But so that to find out that there's 58,000 registered charities in Australia sort of gives me. It gives me a little bit of hope that we could have 1,000 registered charities on our platform, and then you can go onto it. The app is the next process. But we're launching my walk and everything.
Could be something like, even to the point where I just think about things like this. I'm not giving away your secrets. I don't know any secrets, but if you were like Survivor, think of Survivor. If that whole thing could just be funded by, by your company. Or the company doing this, and then it gets all distributed from there. Like, so you could, if you were on Survivor, someone on Survivor, Celebrity One, where they do all this, all the donations go to, I think, it could be just to your, and then you can go, well.
Well, see, the thing is, we've got some really, really big things happening. Yeah. We call them hero challenges at for my challenge. I won't go into it just yet.
Yes, no, don't give away any secrets yet. I won't go into
it just yet, but we have some really, really, really big challenges coming up from the boys, and this is another thing that people.
Is this considered a hero challenge? What you're doing?
I'm considered a hero challenge. Yeah. And we have ambassadors and influencers. That help promote. Like we talked to Lincoln Lewis and Joel Parkinson and all these guys. They're ambassadors. So if you do a challenge and it comes onto our platform and it's a non-trending challenge and it's not getting traction, we encourage our world changers or our ambassadors to then pick it up and share it on their social media.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah,
and they're world changers.
Because if you feel good about it too, especially if you're promoting something like that, it's I can appreciate that.
I know when charities come to me and ask me to do something for them, I put my hand up and I don't ask the question, how much is actually going to the cause, or how much is. But with our platform, it gives the donors, the money donors, not the organ donors.
No,
one
day.
It gives them the. Well, that's the next one. It's definitely not. It gives them the confidence to know that when they put their money in, it is actually going to where they say they are. And I'm not rubbishing charities. They haven't. I know what you're saying. Some of them haven't got that.
Yeah.
That down pat.
I see exactly what it is, and it's. You think of these ideas, you think, I can't believe no one thought of that. Yeah. Or someone's thought of it. It's just someone being in the middle.
Yeah.
Because it's not until you probably go down that road where you're like, I really want to donate, I really want to do my part.
Yep.
And if you can partner with someone like this, where you go, well, you just know it's legitimate.
And there's some very, very, very big companies that have spoken to us, and are so pleased with what we're doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they're partnering up with us.
Yeah.
So, even with my walk, like I said, I'm walking 66 days, Cairns to Gold Coast.
7 days a week?
7 days a week. No breaks.
Tell me about this train. What have you been doing to train for it?
I've just been doing a hell of a lot of walking. I finished work.
Why'd you pick walking? Because the footy knees just wouldn't. There's no way.
My right knee's got no PCL and my left hip is shot. So I know. One of my mates did it 15 years ago. This is how it all started. One of my mates did it 15 years ago, and Ron's about 60, about 56, 57. So he did it when he was about 40, same age as me.
Yeah.
And not very athletic, old Ronnie, but he did it. He raised $2 million.
Shit, really?
Yeah, and that was 15 years ago. No social media, no media. Off his own bat, raised $2 million. I'm hoping I'd like to raise $5 million.
Yeah.
For my walk. I mean, it's 2.5 million steps. So if I can get $2 a step, I'll be happy. And that changes a lot of lives.
Oh, mate.
A lot of lives.
Yeah.
Even if I raise $10,000, I wouldn't care. It doesn't bother me.
That's like when you say $5 million too, like that could affect. When I see people win $10 million on the lotto, it sort of pisses me off a little bit because I think you've changed one life. Yeah. But if it was $1 million for 10 people, it will change 10 lives.
Like Rise Up. Rise Up. The work that those guys do. We all know what Beyond Blue...
It pisses me off because I'm jealous too.
Yeah. Rise Up. We all know what Beyond Blue does and the beautiful work that they do and the great work that they do. But Rise Up, oh, man. I sat down with Gareth and Nicole. Nicole started it. Sat down and spoke to them about being on the platform and me helping them. Yeah. And, man, I tell you, I'm telling you, the work that these guys do and ADF, the Alcohol and Drug Foundation, when I sat down and I had a choice of some charities there to do it, and I could have picked 100 charities. But
especially if you're seeing the ones that are coming on board.
Yeah,
I bet you're not looking at them going, "Oh, that's not really good." Every charity is worthwhile. Yeah.
The stories they've got, and the lives that they change. Like Rise Up, domestic violence. Like I said, Nicole and Gareth. Just listening to those two.
Yep.
And the stories and the work that they do for families that have suffered domestic violence and the kids that have suffered through domestic violence and the lives that they've changed and the families that have changed. And when I say domestic violence, it's not all about the man.
No.
Beating up on the kids and the wives. Sometimes the wives beat up on the men and the kids, and they've got to find homes for them, and they've got to they relocate families from. You might live in Cairns, and they relocate them down to Adelaide, and fit the house out.
Really?
Like it's a brand new house. I went through the facilities where they stock, brand new beds and toys and footballs for the kids, and they have it. They have it's amazing. There's a lot of bad in the world if you look for it. Yeah. But there's a shitload of good people in the world if you look for them and you align with them. I've seen the worst of the worst, and I've been around the worst of the worst. But to be in that that realm of people, man, it's so rad. Like it's it's awesome.
It give you a kick up too when you're walking. You know, I can imagine you'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing this."
Oh yeah, and I know, like, you know, Nate Miles, the ex rugby league great. Mm-hmm. I was talking to him about it, and this is the bloke that Nate is, and it's amazing because, like, the old football players that I talk to, where are you going to be on this date? When are you coming through Rocky? Because I'm gonna come walking with them. Guys have locked in Semi Thaiday, you know, Matty Bowen and Brent Tate. Listen, when are you coming through Townsville? Because I'm going to be walking with you. Yeah, like the support that I've had. But I was talking to Nate about it. He goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, mate, you know, obviously talking to him and talking to you know, his wife Tess and." He goes, right. He said, where do you start? And I said, I'm starting in Cairns. He's a Gordonvale boy, which is just south of Cairns. He said, righto. He said, how long does it take you to walk from Cairns to Townsville? I said, oh, mate, it's going to roughly 400 Ks. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, but how many Ks you doing a day? He goes, righto. So that's, you know, roughly you're going to be doing, that's 12 days. He said, righto. He said, I'll walk with you from Cairns to Townsville.
No way.
So he's walking with me from Cairns. He's starting with me. And then he's peeling off at Townsville. But then I was talking to Tess about it on Saturday, and she goes, last Saturday, she goes, right, he said, you got the husband for 12 days, but I reckon he's going to walk to Brisbane with you.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean,
just one of those blokes.
Just one of those blokes.
Yeah.
Like, and
he's pretty low key, Nate Miles, isn't he?
Yeah,
like
he's very low key. He's very low key. He's just a really good dude.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about good people and you want to hang around them and it's infectious. Yeah, he's the sort of guy that you want to hang around.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, good dude. Real good. Fucking champion.
Because he's he was a hard man too. He's a real hard man. Took Paul Gallen's punches.
Yeah, and you know what? He ate him up too.
He did.
And he had his hands down his, you know.
Yeah. I remember hearing a thing after that, and it was something like his grandfather told him off or something after that from like. How do you let someone give you a whack and not whack him back? Like, he's like, if he ever does that again, you got to get him this time.
And it's amazing too. Like his dad, Milo. I was talking to Nate, and Nate goes, He goes, well, who's driving? Because Ford have come on. So Ford cars. Went and spoke to the guys up at Q Ford. I'll give them a plug. Yep. Got talking to them, and they said, right, what are you doing? I said, mate, I'm walking from Cairns to Gold Coast. And they said, right, well, you're obviously going to need support staff. Yep. And we're at the time we're talking to Theo Varaktaros from Usher Group, who's involved with the. Yep. He's got the painting company, and he goes, mate, I'll give you some utes. And I said, well, mate, what do you really? And he goes, yeah, no, this is the kind of people that you're around. Anyway, I got talking to Fraser and that up at Q Ford, and they said, right, what do you need? And I said, mate, I need. We're going to take 3 cars and a caravan and sleep in the caravan at certain caravan. He goes, right. He said, mate, I'll give you 3 Ford Rangers. So we've got all those decaled up. They're looking after us, and body science. Greg at Body Science. What do you need? Hyper Ice. I'm giving the guys a plug.
Oh no, plug them away. Yeah.
And like even Rebel Sport. Right, you're going to need shoes. You're going to need this. Puma have come on board. And I walked into the Queensland Rugby League, and I'm talking to the boys, Rowan Sawyer and Mickey Hillier up there, and. He goes, mate, what are you doing? I said, mate, walking from Cairns to Gold Coast. He goes, what are you doing it for? Explained him the platform and what we're doing it for. And he goes, right. He said, we'll be your major supporter. So they've come on, Queensland Rugby League, come on. Yep. Rowan rings me on Friday. He said, mate, I've got some news for you. And I said, what's that? Because how it all started is we want to do it for Webby, Carl Webb, and Motor Neurons, which he's going to be essentially a beneficiary of it anyway. I said, mate, I'd love. How would I go? I said, we've got State of Origin on the 27th of June. Yep. I said, I'll be 60 days into my walk. I said, is there any chance I can get into the ground before the game and do a lap with Webby before kick-off? And Rowan goes, leave it with me. He said, I'll make the calls. We want to support you. Puma have come on board. Yeah. We were looking at Shell. So if there's any fuel stations out there that can jump on board with the fuel, they couldn't come on board because obviously there's a process with the big companies. And Rowan rings me and goes, mate, Puma on board. They want to help you out, whatever you need. Queensland Rugby League have now been in contact with the NRL. Yeah. He said, you've now been given permission to walk onto the ground with Carl Webb before the game.
So that'll be your 60th day.
Yeah, so that'll be roughly 60 days. I think 61, I think it is.
Yeah. So you'll be Is that on the way to the Gold Coast?
Or that's on the way to the Gold Coast. So I leave on the 26th of April. Get into Origin on the 27th of June.
Yep. How good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to need it. I mean, walking all that.
That
way.
Doesn't walking doesn't sound
that hard.
Well, in essence, it doesn't because it's what we do every day. But
yeah, well,
you get into day 2, day 3, and it starts to become
it's continuous.
It's continuous, and it doesn't
66
end.
days. It doesn't end. Like I'm waking up at. I think we're due to wake up at say 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then walk 30 k's.
Oh, you're doing it early, are you?
Yeah, we're going to do early, so we want to beat the heat.
Yeah, well, you could, 9 o'clock's not wrong with 9 o'clock.
No, but I'll be walking for roughly 8 hours a day. So
really,
yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to punch out 6 to 7.
Yeah,
but walking through the Carbon Ranges and all those guys, all those areas.
Oh, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not. When it was funny because when we first started talking about it, I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Gold Coast. Cairns to Gold Coast. Come on. Anyway, the boys at the office, Dan and Theo, went, right, are you going to do it? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'll do it. Wasn't thinking.
Yeah,
and I wasn't even drinking. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I'm
glad you had to preface that.
No, and then
I'd had 7 beers, but
that was months and months ago. And then once they went, right, are you sure? They gave me a chance to back out, and I went, nah, I'm doing it. And then they went, yeah, right, sweet, you're doing it. And then we started the process of the logistics.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be massive. Like, it is huge. And even I was at the Sunshine Coast for Harper's OzTag on the weekend, and driving back to the Gold Coast, I'm like,
yeah, I know. You're like, it's been a while. We've been going a while.
We've been going a while, and these cars are doing 110 k's an hour, and they're going to be whizzing past my ears. Yeah. So I mean, that's okay. We've got our support staff there, so that's going to help.
Do you follow? There's a guy actually right at the moment, Iron Cowboy.
He's running from Perth to Sydney.
No. Iron Cowboy is an American guy from Utah, and it was on Netflix it was called Iron Cowboy, and he did 50 Ironmans in 50 states.
That's right. In
50 days.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember that? Did you see that doco?
Well, there's a guy at the moment.
Yeah.
Left on the 1st of this month.
Yeah.
He's running from Perth to Sydney, doing 60 k's, running 60 kilometres a day for 61 days.
Oh, that's rough.
And then there's a guy.
He must be built like a thermometer.
Oh,
there's no way.
Hopefully he's running with the wind and it's just taking him. But then there's another guy. He's apparently going from Cairns to Melbourne on a skateboard.
I've seen him. Hey, didn't Jace have him in here?
Yeah.
He did. Jace had him in here. Gypsy Tales had him.
Did he? When? Yeah. It was only recently.
Yeah, not long ago. Was it June? Yeah. He was in here. Yeah, he came in here.
Yeah, on his skateboard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind talking to him.
What a cat. Oh, he's gone. So you can listen to the podcast. So he's on his way, mate. He's making away. But what I was getting, this Iron Cowboy, at the moment, he's 49 days in. He's doing 100 marathons, 100 Ironman triathlons in 100 days consecutively. And so he's in Utah. That is, I think it's 5:30 he gets up, and he swims obviously the 3K. Then they ride. The ride takes them 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then he's got to do a marathon at night. Yeah. And he's doing it 100 consecutive days. But what was interesting, I sort of followed him because I've followed him since he did the 50-50. And he said the key is not necessarily training for it. He goes, I'll be training during it.
Yeah, well,
he goes, so my first 50 is almost like my training camp for my last 50.
Yeah. Well, see, that was something that my team and I spoke about.
Yeah.
Like, they walks. You start walking 30 k's a day. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't want to start walking.
What a name! What a name for this challenge too.
Walker's on. Walker's on. That's what my team were really concerned, and I mean, I don't want to be concerned. It wasn't a concern. They made it a concern, and I made it a concern because it sort of manifested in my head. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do 30 k's 3 weeks out. I'm not going to for the month out for my 60 days. I'm not going to go out there and walk 30 k's a day.
Yeah.
But what I will do is I'll walk. So I started walking 5 to 15 k's.
Yeah.
For the first week.
Yeah.
So just got myself used to it. I got the shoes from Rebel Sport.
Yes.
Nice. And then now I'm up to doing 25 k's a day.
Yeah.
And then I'll back down. So I go to Townsville on Thursday, pick up the cars, take them to Cairns. I might punch out a 10k or a 15k.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to certainly blow myself out because I've got 66 days to walk 30 Ks a day.
Yeah.
Now, I might find the first 2 weeks a struggle.
Yeah.
But then once my body starts doing the 30 Ks...
Well, your body's an amazing thing. It
adapts.
It starts saying... Well, that's what... You should follow him on Instagram. I'll send you his link. It's cool watching him because he's like... His first 10 days, he was a zombie.
Yeah.
He was a zombie. And then he started... Now he's in like 40... Like day 49. And he's actually finishing like smiling, like loving... And it's almost like his body's gone, this is our new normal.
Yep.
This is what I do every day now.
Yep.
And...
It's like when I started fasting.
Yeah.
Like I started fasting in the first 2 weeks. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm not fasting. This sucks. But then after 2 weeks, I got used to it. And I was like, I don't want to eat until 12 o'clock. And then even when I do the 3-day fast, the first time I did it, it was more of a habit thing. I went to the fridge 10 to 12 times during the day and got to the fridge and went, what am I doing here? What am I doing staring at food? Like I'm tormenting myself.
Yeah.
And then the second time I did it, I went to the fridge probably 3 or 4 times the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then the next 24 hours, I never went to the fridge. And then the last 24 hours, that I felt amazing.
See, I padlock mine shut.
Hey?
I padlock mine shut. I couldn't do it. I've done 2 now, but you have to be busy. I have to be busy. Like some people go, I'm going to go and check myself into a hotel and do I'm like, no, fuck that. No. I said, I got to be out and about. I got to be not thinking about any of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. You forget to have breakfast. You have a coffee. You have a black coffee, and then you go out and work. And then because your mind's occupied, you look up and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You go, I'm not even hungry. I haven't eaten since last night. I'm not hungry. But then once you start thinking about food, your food starts, your gut starts playing mind games with your head, and then your head goes, oh, well, I better feed it because it's talking to me saying it needs food, but I don't need food, but my gut does because it's habit.
My gut and my brain have got a love-hate relationship. They don't get along.
Bit like me and my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
I love her and she hates
me.
But
I read a thing the other day about habit forming, and it takes you 66 days to form a habit.
Yeah, so and 3 days to break it.
Is it?
I think it's 3 days to break it.
Well, 66 days, so... Mate, you're coming. You should just keep going. So 60 days, 30K. That might be your new thing.
So the thing is too. Also, I've got a goal on what I want to raise for these charities. Yeah. I've got a goal, and I think I started thinking about it on the weekend. I started thinking, if I'm near into the Gold Coast and I don't have that goal, and this is my competitive side, playing competitive side with my other competitive side, is I'm actually thinking I could probably just keep on going to Melbourne, and I'm thinking like I'm in that mindset now where, you know what, I know I can get to the Gold Coast, I know I can do the 66 days, stuff it. I might as well just keep on going to Melbourne, and I started playing with that thought in my head, and usually when I start playing with these thoughts in my head, I'll do it, and like. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go to Melbourne, and I
you wait to get 3 days in, and you're like,
I know that you know the routine that I want to get into is bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock, waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting up. So basically how we're going to do it is we start.
Yeah. So what's the plan? So from day dot.
Yep. So day dot we base ourselves in Canberra in Cairns. We base ourselves in Cairns. I'll go out 30 Ks. I'll mark the road, flag the road, fund my challenge, stamp the road. Support staff will then take me back, straight back into recovery.
Yeah.
Then the next morning, wake up, we drive out to the 30 Ks. Yep. We walk another 30 Ks. We stamp that. We come back to camp.
Okay.
We start our recovery. Then the next day, we drive out to where we finished, 30 Ks, stamp the road. Come back
again,
recovery, pack up camp, drive out 60 Ks past, so drive out 150 Ks.
Yeah, okay.
Set up camp.
Yep.
So it just gives us that base. So we were planning on, when we first initially started, we were planning on going out 30 Ks, setting up camp.
Yeah, right.
Packing down camp.
I assume that's what it would be.
No.
That's logistically,
that's logistically really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
And if you want to do that, have a car and a swag, because packing up a pop-up caravan, and then going to trying to find another 30 Ks on the side of the road, too dangerous.
Yeah. You're not always going to stop on the best spot at 30k.
Yeah, and I mean at 30k's, if you want to stop at 30k's and then try and find a patch of dirt that's safe, best luck to you. And you're packing up every day. So this gives us that little bit of a base to come back.
So you're sort of talking 3, 4, 5 nights.
Yeah, so
each spot.
Yeah, so 66 days we're setting up camp and putting down camp, 15 times to 16 times.
Instead of 60.
Instead of 60 times.
Yeah, right.
Or it might be 20 times, instead of doing it 66 times.
Yeah.
And also too for safety, we go back to a caravan park or we go back to a pit stop or something and set up camp there for 3 days.
Yeah.
We've got that, we've got the caravan, we've got the cars, we've got we can then tuck into our high price stuff. Lance and the boys were very good. They dropped us off some
those leg things.
Legs.
Are they go good? Do they?
Oh mate, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't give it a big enough rap.
Really?
It is. Yeah. It's since I've been doing my 30k's, I've been like I said, I did the first 2 weeks anywhere between 5 to 15k's, which is a normal days. You're roughly doing 8k's if you're busy on a walk. That's your normal normal activity for walking. Yeah. So I doubled it to 15k's a day, and then at home recovery, hyper ice, the hyper guns, the hyper volts, which by the way I've never used one before until the boys dropped it off to the office, and I tell you, oh my god, they're good. Those things. Amazing. Yeah. They're amazing. Into the foam roller, and then the new belt that they've got, the heat belt with the vibration, with my lower back, works an absolute treat. I get up in the morning and I feel pretty good, but I know punching out 30k's is going to be a lot different than doing 15 to 25k's. So tonight when we get home, I'll probably go for a 15k walk.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Get home, recover. Then tomorrow.
You're a night owl.
Yeah, I don't mind it because I get on the phone, which is really cool. Like I get on the phone to the boys with Fund My Challenge, Dan and Theo and Mike and those guys. Get on the phone.
You do your conference calling and stuff at night.
Conference call, and they're night owls too, so they don't mind. They got young kids in the family, so they send the kids off to bed, feed them up, and then away we go.
Get some work
done.
So what's your plan for head noise?
Oh, I think 8 miles the first 12 days.
What's your plan if you both get head noise? Because I saw you. I came and saw you one 24-hour walk you did.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of head noise going on there. You could tell. I was like, ooh.
That's the thing. Like I've done a couple of 24-hour walks, 100k's.
Yeah.
They're really really tough. They're really tough. Dan, my partner in this for my challenge. He did the David Goggins challenge. So
is that
4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours? And Dan did the 100k walk with me, and he said to me, I wouldn't do David's because of obviously my knees. Once I get my knees done and my hip done, I'll start running again. But he did one of the 24-hour walks with me.
Yeah.
And he said that mentally that was tougher than the David Goggins 24-hour, the 48-hour 4 miles, because he was running 6.5k's every 4 hours.
Yeah.
And he reckons that mentally the 24-hour walk was tougher.
Because I suppose you get reprieve, don't you? You can stop, you can go,
stop, you can shower, you can have 2 hours sleep. Yeah, because what he was doing, he's a pretty fit dude. He was, I think he was doing his runs in 35 minutes, his 6.5k's.
Yeah.
35 minutes.
Yeah.
So I had a look at his GPS, and I think the longest one he did was 42 minutes.
Yeah.
So he would home, recover, shower, food, and he reckoned sometimes he was getting 2.5 hours sleep.
Shit.
Which he can function. If you can function off your sleep, if you don't need sleep. But he said with the walk, because it was continuous.
Yeah.
And we, I remember the first time I did it was with Benny Shea, and So Benny Shea was was a guy I played footy with at Ipswich Jets. Now he's a machine.
Yeah.
This bloke, love him. He either goes, he was overweight, drinking, life was a mess.
Yeah.
And then discovered exercise and whatnot. And he was a mad football player, like he played in the Queensland Cup.
Yeah.
Awesome dude, Benny. And then he decided doing all these challenges. And it was weird because he inspired me to do a 24-hour walk.
Yep.
Because he did the David Goggins challenge. Now, he did the David Goggins challenge the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I rang him on the Friday. Well done, Benny. Awesome. I said, oh, mate, I'm thinking about going on a 24-hour walk next weekend. Do you want to come? And this is after he'd just finished running 80 Ks in 48 hours. And he's like me. Once he gets something in his head, he just does it. And then he went, yeah, I'll do it. And then didn't think. Mate, the first 24 hours challenge I did was with him. Mate, we got to the 100 Ks. We got to the 100 Ks. And by the end of it, mate, I think we would have been walking at a 2 km/h pace.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous, and I felt for Benny because he had no no toenails, his blisters from the week before.
Challenge.
But yeah, Dan said that he said that when you get to the 18-hour mark on the walk and you're at 80 Ks or 70 Ks, that's when your demons start kicking in.
Yeah,
because you don't sleep, you're not sleeping, but
I guess
you've walked.
30 K is enough to try and just go head down.
Yeah, it roughly takes you 6 hours.
So why'd you pick that? Is that just achievable? You thought that's just going to be?
Yeah, I just
logistically.
Logistically, it was good, and it just gives.
Because 60 days is a long time, eh? Like
it's a long time. It's 66 days, so it's just over.
Like not so much a long time to be in the zone to doing your walk. No. Just a long time for
anything.
For anything to be away, you think a holiday,
up,
But man, it'd actually be pretty unreal because the camaraderie you're going to get, like I don't know who your support crew is.
Yeah, it's good crew.
Good crew, like you're going to be with each other all day, every day.
Yeah, I mean, and like I've said to the guys that are going to come on that are going to be in my support crew.
Yeah,
there are going to be days when not everything's going to go our way.
Yeah,
there's going to be arguments. There's going to be bickering. So what we've also said to our crew that. Yeah, we've got 3 cars. If we want to finish and you feel like mentally you're starting to get a little bit fatigued and this guy here's causing you a little bit of grief and getting on your nerves, take the cars for a drive and
go see some sights or something.
Go see some sights. Go play golf. Go for a fish.
Yeah.
We're encouraging. Like I'm encouraging as a team and as a culture because we're gonna have a team and we need that culture to be. There's going to be days where it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
There's going to be days where I'm going to be waking up like a bear with a sore toe and I'm going to snap.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people that are going to, that not snap, but there's.
Oh, I know what you mean.
There's going to be a little bit of bickering. So just once you're in the car, go for a drive. Just as long as you know where we are and as long as I know where you are, don't go.
Come back.
Come back.
Please come back.
Don't go to towns and go out and get on the piss.
Yeah.
But I mean, so we're all aware of that.
Yeah.
It's okay to say it. It's okay in theory, but we're just going to put it down in practice.
You'll get a routine pretty quick too, of what needs to be done. And
yep.
Yeah. Who's head chef?
I'd say probably the local bar or the local fish and chip shop. That'll be
whoever.
And that's what we want to do too. I mean, when Roddy did it 15 years ago, he was talking to me about the people that you're going to meet from the small country towns and the hospitality that you're going to get and the excitement that we're teaming up with the Queensland Rugby League. Like I said, they're going to be a major supporter. So I've asked for the whole time. When we pull into towns that the kids play footy, but they never see or never have the opportunity to be coached by an ex-player.
Yeah.
I've asked, and that's something that the Queensland Rugby League. And I sat down and said, when I'm walking through towns that don't have much activity, I'll pull up and go to the local junior footy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
local junior footy club and
you have some pretty good guys with you too. Some of those times,
yeah. I mean, if we get a JT to come along with us along the way and we pull up at a local school and go through some school clinics and whatnot, that's just good for the community and that's what we want.
Yeah, spot on. The thing is with that, with the people coming along too, if you've got like all these people that are coming along and helping with the coaching clinics and helping with all that stuff, it's going to breed. It's going to, they'll put it on their social media. It's going to do more things for your FOMO challenge. We just want to go in there to those communities and I know when I was a kid growing up in Toowoomba, back then there's it's a big country town and now it's sort of a small city.
because it's growing. But I remember as kids when the Broncos come through, and we had training. I remember at school and seeing Mark Cohn and Alan Cann and Kevin Walters come to our school and did a clinic. And I remember it as clear as day. I was grade 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's huge for things like that. You remember that stuff for years.
And we never really got too much when we were kids. Now there's a hell of a lot out there at Toowoomba. But these little country towns along the Bruce Highway and along the highway, to pull in there and even talking to Ronnie, who did it 15 years ago. Like he said to me, he goes, the hospitality of these little country towns are through the roof. Yeah. Like they just...
Oh, it'll be like
Yeah.
They'll be looking forward to it. They'll be watching you. Have you got a tracker?
Yeah, the tracker's through, then all the radio stations are, the amount of requests I have at the moment when we put it out there last week, for people to come in and the radio stations want to do updates and where I'm at and how I'm going and all that sort of stuff, which will be on our app and on our webpage. But just for them to see me come through and all that sort of stuff is going to be awesome.
Well, I want to be mindful of your time because I know you got a 15K walk tonight. Yeah. But man, all the best, and we'll obviously push it on this, and when this comes out, it'll be sort of the same time as launching, so we'll be able to put it all out in our social and everything, and get the support going, man. And we'll have you in here when you get back. You can tell us all about it.
Beautiful, brother.
Take care, man. Awesome. All the best.
Cheers.
Okay, bro.